Hello, everyone, and once again, welcome to the Ascent Meridian Technology Center's live stream. I am Julie Griffin, your host, and today I have my guest is a new coworker and team member, Mr. Alex Evers. So, hey,
Thank you
Alex,
for
thanks for
having me.
being here.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, I'm very good. So, for those of you who are watching on our various platforms, I just encourage you to please drop a comment because that's how we know you're here. So, like, we have a little eyeball that tells us that we have people watching, probably about 7, depending which eyeball I look at. But we don't know you're here if you don't comment. And so, that's one of the great things about live streaming is it allows us to have a real-time conversation with you guys. So Alex is going to tell us about himself and about what he does here at Meridian. And if there's anything that you guys want to know while we're going along, like please drop it in the comments. I'd also like to know if you're watching on LinkedIn or if you're watching on Facebook. We use a platform called Restream. And so all of the comments from all of our different platforms feed into one spot. So we'd like to know where you're watching from and if you've joined a live stream before. Because when you comment, we can do this. Cody McPherson. Hey, Cody, thanks for watching. We're glad you're here. He is another career tech person. He's with Metro Tech down in Oklahoma City. And then we've got Nathan Hammer from Stillwater Cushing area, tuning in on LinkedIn. Thanks for being here, Nathan.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, it's super fun. So see, it's more fun when people
It definitely
engage
is,
with them.
especially if anybody has questions.
Yes.
And it's not just a nice monologue. Yeah.
Exactly, because I'll listen to you talk, but people hear me talk all the time. So, but obviously, if you guys have comments or questions or anything, drop them in there. We'd love to interact with you and get to know our audience a little bit better. Mm-hmm. If you are watching on either my page or Alex's page, I would invite you to go over to the Meridian page and like them and give them a follow as well. We're really working to build our audience over there, especially on LinkedIn, and grow the audience that we have there and just let people know what the great things that we're doing here at Meridian. So with that, how about you just, introduce yourself to all of us.
You got it. My name is Alex Evers. I'm the new director of business and entrepreneurial services at Meridian. And so I kind of oversee the business incubator here in Stillwater, as well as the business incubator at the Peak down in the South Campus in Guthrie.
Very good. Very good. So you're new within like the last 2 weeks. So yeah. What did you do before? Who is the man behind the title?
Yeah. So I how far back do we want to go? That's a great question. Let's go with college. So I was in college. I went to Oklahoma State, and I ended up doing MIS for my degree. So kind of a computer science business type focus. And when I graduated, I kind of came to the same crossroads that a lot of people do when they finish their degree. Is like, okay, now what am I going to do? And at that point in time, I'd been doing martial arts for, I don't know, a decade or something like that. I started when I was probably 12. And I've been doing it, love it. I started teaching it. And so I taught a lot of classes, and I kind of decided like, okay, if I want to do business, then maybe it's best to try and fail at 22 than it would be at 55. And if I try and fail, I go bankrupt, then at least I still have the piece of paper that says I have a degree. So I kind of took a chance, and the place I was working at, I decided to try and purchase it, which I had been to college, but none of my classes prepared me for purchasing a business. And so I went with the old faithful, where you just Google, how do you buy a business? And the first step is to figure out what it's worth. So I kind of talked with the owner. What does he want? What is it worth? All that kind of stuff. I ended up getting after talking with more professionals, ended up getting a valuation for what it's worth. And then the next crossroads is, how do you get the money for that? Because I probably had $1,000 in my bank account and I can't afford to buy a business. So what kind of funding do you need? Do you get a traditional loan? Well, I'm 22 at the time, and I'm trying to be self-employed, which is both things that a traditional bank loan does not appreciate. Right. And so I had to get a little creative. loans, friends and family, that kind of a situation. And I was able to get about half of what the owner and the valuation was saying it was worth. And then so I went to the owner and I said, hey, I got half and I can pay the other half out of our profits over the next 4 years. And it was a done deal. So I ended up purchasing my first business with no money down.
Nice.
A weird creative financing situation, but it taught me a lot, actually. And so I was able to purchase my first business, and I kind of went from the guy who had a lot of ideas that we weren't allowed to pull off, it cost too much money, this or that, whatever. I was able to kind of go in and implement a lot of those ideas, different marketing strategies, how to get more people in the door. And some of it worked spectacularly and some of it was terrible. And if it was terrible, I got rid of it and tried something new. And when I purchased it, we were at about 80 students, maybe slightly more, slightly less, 82, 78, somewhere in there. And within the first year, we doubled. We were at about 150. And
awesome.
Which was, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome, really. And because of that, the revenue went up, operating costs went up, but not at the same proportion. And so I was able to pay off all the loans that I got in the first 2 years. Nice. And then I just owned the business free and clear after that. And so from there, I was able to grow and grow and grow. I had some people that I had been teaching martial arts since they were 8, 9, 10. And now, years later, they're 20 and I want to do martial arts. So I was able to start another studio in Enid, Oklahoma, downtown. And then I started another studio in Edmond, Oklahoma. And if you're familiar with the program, we do martial arts, but we also did after school pickup. So bring kids from pick them up at school, snack time, homework assistance, teach them karate, let their parents pick them up. And the parents are usually pretty happy at that point. There's no homework. The kid's eaten. They've exercised. They talk to somebody. And then you can go do fun family stuff and also have a summer camp. And about 3 years ago, my son was born and kind of decided what amount of responsibility versus what amount of being present are we looking at. And so I ended up selling the studio in Stillwater. So I still have one in Edmond. I still have one in Enid, but the Stillwater studio I was able to sell. So I sold that. I'm still currently a business owner with the other 2 studios. So I've purchased a business. I have started up from scratch 2 other studios, and then I've actually had a successful exit, a reasonably successful exit. And so, so one thing that I'm kind of looking forward to at the incubator is being able to apply the lessons that I have actually experienced. What is it like when you're trying to sell your business or buy your business or start a new program, or, how do you get more people in the door, or we need to fix this and we need to buy this and we need to make payroll, but we can only do 2 of those things this month. What are we going to pick? I've actually been there. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting with all of our different tenants in-house, but also our associate tenants that are just taking advantage of our coaching opportunities. Maybe they have a small business, a retail shop, and they just want someone to bounce ideas off of, or hey, my website's not converting. What's the deal? And there's 3 of us here. There's me, there's Erica and Brad. And Brad's really great with product development and exporting and all that kind of stuff. And Erica's great with hiring and customer service. And she's just like crazy nice. And so we all kind of have some different specialties, but then also part of the incubator is just, you ask about this and I don't know the answer, but do we have the resource to send, okay, hey, you need to talk to this guy. You need to go to the SBDC and talk to these people, or, oh, I want to purchase this equipment. Oh, is there a grant available for that somewhere? Does Career Tech have something for that? Who do I talk to get capital? All that different kind of stuff. We can kind of help connect if we don't know what the answer is, how to figure that out.
You totally jumped the gun on me. I was going to ask.
I'm sorry. I just kind of rambled a little bit.
You did kind of a little bit. We talked about the code for that, and I almost did it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I think that's great. I love that you shared your journey of how you got started, and then obviously we can see the passion that you have for entrepreneurship. So back up a step or 2. Mm-hmm. So what brought you to Meridian?
Well, that's a great question. I have a lot of connections here. I have a lot of friends that work here,
Okay.
and over the years, I just hear about how great Meridian is to work. And
Yeah.
I actually have a friend that's worked here for a pretty long time, Kara Adney, and about 10 years ago, her and I and my predecessor here, Justin Hazard, all went through Leadership Stillwater together. And Justin wasn't working here. Kara was. I obviously wasn't. And so I came up here to do a speaking engagement. I go and talk to different businesses, different organizations, education, classrooms, that kind of stuff about leadership and business and things like that. And so I was actually up here at Meridian doing a leadership talk, and I bumped into Kara, and so we started talking. And this was kind of at the period where I decided, okay, I want to go back to work. I was being a stay-at-home dad there for a little bit. And we were just kind of talking, and we both know Justin. What's Justin up to? And I was asking about his position here, and the position was about to be posted, and so I was like, oh, well, let's look into that a little bit. And when I found out that it was pretty much exactly what I enjoy doing for fun, I like talking to small business owners. Like I just love it. And what problems are you facing? What obstacles? There's a way around it. Let's figure it out. I love doing that. And so when I found out that that's a real job,
Yeah,
that was a slam dunk. that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when your passions can align with work that also pays you money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome. And everybody here is just so nice. It's wild. It's wild.
No, I agree. I've been with Meridian about a year and a half, and it's like the people are just amazing.
I totally agree.
So here's a comment that is from your channel, from Alex, another Alex.
Yeah, Alex and Alex. That actually happens quite a bit.
So his question is Meridian looking to grow the Stillwater and Guthrie campuses through Alex's new role? So how would you like to answer that?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Great question. So we have the incubator here at Meridian. We're kind of the third entrance. There's entrance 1, 2, and then the third one is closest to 19th and Sanger. And so that is our business incubator. The building is called the Center for Business Development. And so we have office spaces. We have light manufacturing. We have kind of a lab space. We have a culinary space. And so new startups and really new startup is kind of a range. I've got somebody coming in that I'm going to talk to later today that says, I have this idea, but I don't have an LLC. I don't have anything. It's just kind of being more serious. And how do I get going? And so there's kind of one person, then we'll have somebody that I've got this new product or a patent, but I don't know how to start manufacturing, that kind of stuff. So we have kind of the resources for all of that kind of area. And I said, if we don't know exactly, then we can point you in the direction and make those introductions. And so we do have some spaces here available in Stillwater. We have some offices. We have some other spaces as well. So I'm looking to kind of connect with some small business owners that might need that space, whether it be manufacturing or kind of lab or culinary, that kind of thing, or they just need maybe an office. They need some coaching from one of us on the team, and we might get together a few times a month and talk about what the obstacles are, how to fix those, or how to potentially overcome those, and then come back to it next time, somebody to keep you accountable and say, okay, what progress was made? Let's look at the website. Let's look at the revenue or your expenses, your P&L, that kind of thing. And so we have those spaces available, a few spaces available here in Stillwater, but also at the Peak in Guthrie. So we have a campus down in Guthrie. It's only about 2 years old. It's really, really nice, state of the art.
Beautiful.
We've got conference rooms. And so that's another nice thing about being in the incubator is you have a lot of kind of wraparound resources that you might not if you're just out of your garage. We like to bump into other tenants and, hey, what's your business? This is my business. I've had this problem. How did you overcome that? I'm looking at hiring my first employee. That's kind of scary. What did you do?
Yeah.
Do you have a handbook that I could look at? That kind of thing. So the other tenants are great. Like I said, conference spaces, printing, and then we'll have programming coming up next month as well, just where we can all kind of get together and talk about different topics and kind of all grow together. So we have spaces physically in both incubators, but we also offer associate tenancy. So that might be for somebody that currently is operating out of a brick and mortar store. Maybe it's retail, or maybe it's a service-based business that you don't need a space here, but you would still like to potentially talk with other tenants. You might like to use the conference rooms. You'd still like kind of our coaching services. And so we can set you up where you can come in, or we can call you, we can go to you. But sometimes it's nice to have another place to get out of your business. You can come here. We have some drop-in space. And we can just kind of go over all of those same things without needing to have the physical location here if that's not what's best for your business. So we're looking to grow that at both campuses.
Can you talk a little bit about what type of tenants you're looking for?
Yeah.
Or that would be good fits?
Of course. So with our spaces here, we're looking for, in the long term, scalable businesses that will be employing more people. So for instance, if I teach martial arts would not be a great business for the incubator. We don't have customers walking up to the incubator. We're not teaching that would not be a great incubator business, but that might be a great associate tenant business where I go teach here and I come over and I go, hey, here's all my problems. Can you help me, figure some of this out? Businesses we're looking for here are more scalable generally. And so we have some manufacturing here. We have some pharmaceutical businesses here where they are trying to break into the market. So we have business Rocket Slug that's at Walmart. They're trying to look at how do we get even bigger? How do we reach more people? How do we, in the future, negotiate our own rents, our own commercial lease? Because the goal is not to be here with me forever. The goal is we bring you in, we get you what you need, you grow, and after a few years, we can help you find the next step, your warehouse, all that kind of stuff. So those are the kind of businesses that we're looking for here. But the nice thing is, if you're interested in assistance, you want help, you need resources, you can still meet with us, like I said, as an associate without actually renting a space here. So we could do that with all different kinds of businesses, landscaping businesses, anything like that, a brick and mortar store, that kind of thing.
Very cool. Very cool. What is the average length of time that somebody is in an incubator? And actually, maybe we should back up a second and talk about what a business incubator is. What are those services that you get as an incubator? What is the advantage of that?
Yeah, well, there's quite a few different things. A lot of people think of it as just the coaching, but being in a space with other startups is incredibly beneficial. You also have a business address, which a lot of times, especially when you're looking for grants and just other types of funding, if you give them a residential address, they go, I'm not sure if this is a real business. So we have business address, coaching, like I said, spaces, let's see, utilities, parking, security. We have 3D printers. We just have a bunch of different things that kind of all help together. So maybe you in your business, you might utilize 4 of those things. Somebody else might utilize 6 of them. Conference space. So there's just a lot of different reasons why you might come into the incubator. But generally, we're looking at 3 to 4 years generally. Sometimes less, sometimes more, kind of depending. And so if if your business is growing, we're making progress, but it's not as quickly as that time frame, that's not the end of the world. We can reassess, okay, what is another year going to look like for us, something like that. But the idea is that you're not hanging out here for forever. We want to be able to help you grow and move on. That's kind of the goal.
Good. Very good. So I love Cody's question. So is there a place that has all the businesses that are in the incubator? Would love to support them instead of bigger businesses when we can. Basically, I'm thinking he's asking if there's a directory of businesses who are in incubators.
Yeah, what a great question. So on our website, which there's a QR code where you can There it is.
Right
there
there.
it is. So there's a QR code there that'll get you to our website. In that website, there's an Our Clients link that has most, with an asterisk, of our clients. We're working on updating that page. We have new people, so a lot of the clients at the Peak in Guthrie are not on that yet, and so we're working on getting them all up to date on there as well. But I think that is a fantastic idea, Cody, and we would definitely appreciate that. We just have some fantastic businesses, and they are small businesses, so they're trying to get noticed, trying to get the word out, that kind of thing. So that would be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. And I want to highlight, like, talking about like the different businesses who are in the incubator. You have one in Guthrie who's doing some pretty incredible things and has been highlighted kind of on a national stage.
Mm-hmm. Vita Bars?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah. So what she is doing there is she's doing that. We recently had she had the Ulta, trying to remember the exact name of the program, but she's trying to break into Ulta there. But she's had a lot of success in different areas. But I also don't want to talk too out of turn because I have been here for 2.5 weeks.
Right.
So I don't want to.
Go look up.
I don't want to say anything incorrectly. Vita Bars, it's really blowing up, and I would highly encourage you. Yeah. They are on the client section of our webpage. They're in Guthrie now. They used to be in Stillwater, and I know that she's doing some pretty awesome stuff there, and I know that it's really blowing up for her.
Yeah, I had never heard of bar-based like shampoo and conditioner, but that's what she does, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I've heard her speak a couple different times, and her story is pretty cool.
I totally agree.
I always thought there was another. Oh, I think it says the comment that made you laugh. Might hold the world record for fastest tying of a martial arts belt. Is this true? I think we need a demonstration, like video where it didn't happen.
I didn't bring the supplies necessary. But about a month ago, I tried to break this world record, and I did. However, it takes Guinness a long time to review those videos. So in a month or so, I will hopefully have some good news.
Okay.
And if I have bad news, it's probably that the quality of the video is too bad or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely did break the world record for the fastest martial arts belt tie, which so unfortunately does not relate to this job. But yeah, it's 5 seconds, and I did it. I did it on video in like 4 point something, but I did it off video in like 3.8. But I couldn't recreate it. That was a unicorn situation. So
yeah.
So if you need any help with that in your business, if that applies to your business, I am the world's foremost expert in quickly tying a martial arts belt.
I think that could just be a testimony to like your tenacity and getting things done and powering through and achieving things.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we can relate it, but we can relate it all back to work.
Exactly.
So you mentioned Brad and Erica, who are the other members of the BES team. So why don't you just talk a little bit about like kind of their each individual specialties and what a tenant or associate tenant, like you call them, could benefit from working with them too.
Yeah. So Brad's background is a little bit more IT and product based. So he worked with Hostbridge Technologies, which is here in town, big startup. Russ Tubner started that up. And so he worked there. He worked, I believe it was at ASCO for a little bit as well, but he's been at the incubator here for, I want to say 16 to 18 years, something like that. And so Brad is a huge wealth of industry knowledge, which has been incredibly helpful for me coming in because I have the personal experience, but I also don't have, I wasn't selling say merchandise or, I can't cover everything. And so Brad has really filled a lot of these kind of areas, and he knows, oh, hey, we want to go talk to this person. We want to go talk to this person, go visit these people over here. They have that hookup, that connection. And so that has been super, super helpful. And then Erica was in charge of some Starbucks stores. And so she was a training manager specifically. So when they were going to open up, let's open up a Starbucks over here. Well, you got to train this whole team. They would send them to Erica, and Erica would teach them the processes. And so the hiring and training processes are huge in small business. And she did that for a living for years and years and years. And so when we're talking about, okay, we need concrete systems for hiring, what does an interview look like? What does the onboarding process look like? How do we get them trained? How do we get them to do a repeatable thing over and over? As the business owner, you're trying to replace yourself in some of these situations, and how can you actually create that person to do that job or equip them to do that job? And so she's really fantastic at that front, customer service, kind of those areas. And so we kind of, if you want to come in and talk about small business marketing, maybe you want to come talk with me, but maybe you want to talk about hiring, you might go to Erica, so on and so forth. And we can, obviously, if you came to talk to me about one thing, I think Brad's the most qualified for that, then I would just kind of send you that direction.
Awesome.
But again, though, also connecting people with, the resources they need.
That's awesome. And I think it's great that you have those different people with different specialties that can really kind of dig in and help people with what exactly it is that they need.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So there was a question here about expanding to other states. So Career Tech, so where we work in Oklahoma, Career Tech, we are specific to Oklahoma. And as a technology center, we have a district that we serve. There are business incubators in other parts of the country. There's actually an International Business Incubator Association that covers the whole globe as far as business incubation goes. So no matter where you are, Michael, there are probably business incubator resources near you.
And you could always send me a message, and I can point you in that direction as well. Brad knows everybody, it seems like.
Yes,
anyone connected to any incubator, Brad knows them. And I'm exaggerating, but and so if you're not by much, so if you're in a specific area, please feel free to shoot me a message, and we can get you hooked up with somebody that can provide similar services that we do.
And that's one of the things that I love about career tech in general, not just specifically to the business incubator side, but in career tech in general. If you have a need, come to us. We may not have the resources in-house, but chances are we know somebody who can help you. So he said he's in Massachusetts. So
I'll talk with Brad. I'm sure we can get that figured out. I'll write that down.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something available up there. Very good. Anything else? I mean, this has been a fun conversation. Anything else that you want the audience to know about you, Alex, or Meridian's BES services?
Well, if you or someone is thinking about a business, or you have a business idea, a lot of times it can be very intimidating to drive somewhere and talk to someone that's wearing a suit and go, is this idea really dumb or not? And that can definitely feel intimidating. I get that. And so I would love to meet with anyone, whether you have an established business or you're just thinking about it. You can come in and shoot me an email and we can just talk, and I can shoot you straight and kind of let you know what the next steps are. Even if you don't end up being an associate tenant or a residential tenant, I can still point you in the right direction or help you find the resources you need, or, just kind of help you get going if that's the case as well.
Very good. And I did drop links to Brad, Erica, and Alex, your LinkedIn profiles on the Meridian's LinkedIn page. I do want to go ahead and address Cody's question before we wrap it up. So Cody asks, do you all help with any SBA grants?
So help is the key word. So I have worked with the SBA personally for the sale of my business. I have not personally filled out an SBA grant, but I know grant writers. And so we would hook you up with a grant writer that can help you kind of determine which grant, whether it's SBA or not, which kind of grants you might want to look at. And then what's the best way to kind of position yourself to write for those? What kinds of things do you do you want to get in your application, those kinds of things. So we can definitely help point you in the right direction for sure. So please feel free to shoot me a message on kind of what you're thinking, and we can get you some resources there.
Oh, we have another question.
Oh,
I don't want to cut us off.
No,
I'm here. Questions.
I'm here.
All right, Rory from Facebook. Thank you for being here. If someone has a business already but wants to know how to better achieve a specific goal, like marketing efficiently, bringing in leads, would the incubator be a good fit for them?
I would definitely say yes. So if you're looking for scaling your business as a whole, you might be looking at more of a residency here where you find a space, depending on what your business is, where you find a space, and we're going to be growing more than one area. If you come in and you say, hey, I really need help with this specific thing, an associate tenancy might be a better situation where you feel pretty good with other stuff, but you really just need help, with whatever the specific task is. So that would definitely be possible. Small business marketing is kind of one of my specialties. But let's say that your business is something I'm not familiar with, and we'll make sure we hook you up with the right people. And maybe that is an associate residency here or an associate tenancy here, or maybe it's not. And that's great too, but we'll definitely want to get you the help you need one way or the other.
Awesome.
Fantastic question.
Very good. And again, want to say, if you want to learn more, there's the QR code. Go ahead and scan that. That will take you to Meridian's Business and Entrepreneurial Services page. Alex, thank you for being on the Ascent today. This has been a great conversation. I have really enjoyed, getting to know you as well, since you're so brand new. But I think it's been great to introduce you to Meridian's audiences. So all of you who are here watching and commenting, thank you so much for being here. Mark your calendars again for the first Friday in March. My announcement of who our guest will be. Yay, somebody scanned the QR code. I don't have my guest for that day lined up just yet, but that will be announced very soon. So thank you guys again for being here, and just have a great afternoon and good weekend.
I appreciate it.
All right, take care, y'all.